A very good evening. It is 4th of September 2025 and you're just in time for GBS News at 9. I'm Ibrahim Said and our sign language interpreter tonight is Alan Kiama. Remember, every headline carries a story. Every story carries a truth and every truth carries a voice. We have a lot lined up for you and on to our first story. In a press conference signed by Cyprian Nyamwamu, Ufungamano House Kenya Bora has accused the county government of failing to deliver, stating that it is due to devolved corruption that the national government sabotages and sheer incompetence. The civil society says that Ruto and Raila's involvement in stopping Governor Sakaja's impeachment was uncalled for and is an expression of the corruption level in our country. They have maintained that they will be taking a step to make sure that the Nairobi County government is dissolved, as Victor Moshiri now reports.
The move to dissolve the county government of Nairobi is taking shape after Kenya Bora leaders promised to spearhead the consultation of Nairobi County members over their planned move to collect signatures to dissolve the county government of Nairobi due to its failure to deliver the promises made to Nairobians and the increased rate of corruption in the capital.
Nairobi has turned to be a den of corruption, and efforts by the county assembly to hold the corrupt accountable has been appended by the prevailing political interests. It's against this backdrop, us as citizens of Nairobi, under Kenya Bora Tuitakayo, have decided to come today to talk to you about what is the way forward.
The civil society group has accused the county government of Nairobi of defrauding. They backed up their sentiments based on the 2023-2024 financial year budget that contained the estimates of 42.29 billion shillings of revenue, comprising 20.72 billion Kenyan shillings equitable share of revenue. According to this civil society group, 118.23 billion shillings pending bills is 3 times more than the county's budget. To settle this debt, Nairobi City County government has to shut down for 3 financial years collecting taxes from Kenyans without serving delivery, clearly indicating that Nairobi County government is insolvent.
We are saying that the citizens of Kenya shall unite to end the cruel looting of our Nairobi city and our country. It is 15 years since the promulgation of the Constitution and 13 since devolved governments were rolled out. Devolved governments during this period of time have delivered very little. One of the main reasons why the county governments have failed to deliver is because of the devolved corruption.
Members of the Nairobi County Assembly had passed a motion to impeach Governor Sakaja for over 20 charges, including financial misconduct, corruption, water shortages, stalled projects, and poor service delivery. More than 70 MCAs had signed to impeach Sakaja, but he was saved through a meeting that was convened by the former Prime Minister Raila Odinga and President William Ruto, differently urging members of their political parties to put on hold the impeachment of the governor.
What has shocked the nation is that when the MCAs of Nairobi heard the cries of the people and they decided that enough is enough, and the time for Sakaja to go is now, President Ruto and the Right Honorable Raila have activated their powers of corruption and used these powers to stop Sakaja's impeachment. I hope you have underlined the powers they have activated, the powers of corruption, not any of the powers that the Constitution has given to them.
Will Nairobians agree with the Kenya Bora Tuitakayo civil society group on disbanding the Nairobi County government?
Tumeenda kuongea yale yanawahusu wale ma MCS ambao wamekuwa na changamoto kupitia mkutano yao ambao wamekuwa nayo, na walikuwa napanga kumtoa governor, na walikuwa wameweka sahihi za kutosha za kumtoa governor wa Nairobi Bwana Sakaja. Na katika maongeo yetu ambayo tumekuwa nao kwa masaa 4-5 ambayo yamepita, tumeongea na watu wamezungumza na MCS wametoa mambo yao na yamesikizwa, na vile vile pia leadership wametoa mambo yao ikasikizwa. Kwa hivyo kwa kauli moja tumekubaliana kwamba hiyo impending impeachment iahirishwe na itolewe, na sasa tumekubaliana governor aendelee na kazi na vile vile ajumuike na akapewa pia marekebisho ambayo anafaa kufanya katika uongozi wake katika kaunti ya Nairobi.
We shall immediately begin consulting Nairobians in all the 17 constituencies and 85 wards on the need to collect signatures to dissolve the county government of Nairobi in total. It is time to send the governor, his deputy, and all the MCAs home according to the law. We call upon all Nairobians to seize this opportunity to show that the people power is greater than the people in power.
Time will tell.
Indeed, a lot happening in the political realm in Nairobi County. Away from that, Kenya's Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture and Livestock Development, Mutahi Kagwe, is leading a week-long trade mission in the United States to secure direct market access for Kenyan agricultural products, including tea and macadamia nuts. Here is more on the story.
And I've been part of some conversations with regard to Kenyan tea.
On the first day of the mission, the delegation met with U.S. retail giant Walmart, which runs more than 40,000 outlets, to open doors for Kenyan produce. Magnat CEO Jen Maigua highlighted Kenya's macadamia as a premium export, naturally grown without chemicals and sourced from over 200,000 smallholder farmers. She stressed that the crop enjoyed a 10% duty advantage over South African nuts.
We are here to present Walmart with a cost-advantaged, high-quality macadamia supply that will deliver the ESG impact that is desired at scale. So we present an opportunity for Walmart. We're asking ourselves, why should Walmart care? We see that there is a price advantage. There is about a 20% margin edge for Walmart, just on the basis of the tariff, the way the tariff is structured. You know, Kenya imports to US is now 10%, as opposed to our competition, which is South Africa, which is 30%. So there is a price advantage that will be available to Walmart.
Leaders from the Kenya Tea Development Agency, Geoffrey Kirundi and Wilson Mudhaura, pitched Kenya's ability to package tea at source, ensuring freshness, traceability, and higher farmer earnings. They also promoted Kenya's diverse tea portfolio, from green and orthodox tea to unique purple tea, recognized for its health benefits and premium pricing.
Kenya is the third largest producer of tea in the world and is the largest black tea producer on earth. We are also the largest purple tea producers in the world, alongside other products that we can discuss. The Kenya coffee is also a premier coffee, especially where it is not blended and where it has got its geographical indicators. I've got a feeling that there are some of our products that are in your shelves through other third parties. For example, you have got tea, possibly Lipton tea, or what you call English breakfast tea. Well, I've got news for you, it is actually Kenya tea. And we want to establish a direct relationship rather than through the English or the Irish or anybody else for that matter.
The mission also featured talks with U.S. Departments of Commerce and Agriculture, the Governor of South Carolina, and major private sector players. In South Carolina, Kagwe, together with Phyllis Kandie, Presidential Advisor on Commodities Market Development, and KTDA executives, held discussions with Milo's Tea Company, the top iced tea producer in the U.S. The talks sought to expand Kenya's tea share in the U.S. market, which stood at just 2%.
On behalf of the tea industry, for us, Ketepa, we had a few products that we had a discussion with Walmart, and we are happy that at some point we were able to approve, I think, three of our products. We have green tea, we have Chai Gold, and also we have Ketepa Pride. They were shelf ready. However, as you say, the patience is also another factor. But it's been more than a year now, and we've not really had much progress moving into that. And especially so that these brands, as our chairman said, are really connected to so much social capital in the sense that it's products that really are relating to more than 700,000 small-scale farmers.
The delegation will continue engagements at the North America Tea Conference and pursue partnerships aimed at sustainable supply chains, ensuring that Kenyan farmers reap higher earnings from direct-to-shelf exports. Molin Rono for GBS News.
Now, shifting gears, a new chapter in Kenya's pursuit of justice for protest victims has begun. At the Kenyatta International Convention Center, an 80-member committee of experts was officially sworn in to oversee compensation for individuals harmed during demonstration dating back to 2017. The panel, chaired by constitutional scholar Professor Makau Mutua, is expected to design a framework that ensures fairness and accountability. The 18-member panel, led by constitutional law expert Professor Makau Mutua, will oversee claims dating back to 2017. The team includes legal professionals, human rights advocates, and technical advisors. Deputy Chair Faith Odhiambo says the committee will ensure transparency.
Judge us by what we do, not what we say. Judge us by what we do, not what we say. We will talk less so that our actions can speak louder. Our goal is to break the cycle of violence in this country.
And let it be known that I have in no way betrayed your trust. Let it be clear that access to criminal justice remains critical to me. In our quest to promote and protect the rule of law as an essential element in the enjoyment of the fundamental human rights and freedoms. Faith Odhiambo will not let you down. The bloodshed of our comrades must not be in vain. And no, I will not take any prisoners. I will instead keep you informed of the developments, and at no point shall I act to negate the gains that we have made together as a...
Now, Medical Service Principal Secretary Ouma Oluga is urging County Executive Committee members for health to quickly submit returns for UHC staff in order to facilitate contract review in line with the new directive agreed upon between Ministry of Health and the Council of Governors. Here are the details.
Things that were left.
Speaking in Mombasa during a quarterly meeting of county health CECMs, Dr. Oluga said the committee tasked with addressing UHC staffing matters was scheduled to meet from Friday, September 5th, to develop a comprehensive way forward. The directive followed a joint agreement to align UHC staff remuneration with salaries and remuneration commission rates.
Just on the UHC, I know that the council already met and there were discussions and there were agreements around the UHC staff. But two things still remain. One is we would like the CCs to help us with initiating the process so that the county public service boards could alter the contracts. The council agreed, and Katra, you should support me in this. The council agreed that we are going to pay the UHC staff as per SRC rates.
During the same meeting, Controller of Budget Margaret Nyakango called on counties to embrace the new electronic government procurement system. She, however, advised stakeholders to give the system adequate time for transition and adaptation.
Once we have the budget and it is on IFMIS, please register with the system. Register the people who are going to operate it. That is already, you are like 40% of the way. Then before you know it, if you have, I'm told the procurement plan is online, please go ahead and do it. Do not keep protesting, saying it is going away. It will not go away. It is with us. People complained about IFMIS. They have been complaining to date, as I speak to you. People still complain about IFMIS. Did we stop using it? Please get used to eGPS. We are all in it. The sooner we start using it, the better. That is my position.
The Ministry of Health has pledged that once counties submit the required staff returns, the committee will finalize contract reviews, paving the way for fairer pay structures and strengthened universal healthcare delivery across the country. Molin Rono for GBS News.
After that health news, in another story is that Charity, sorry for that technical hinge. We'll be taking a short break here and we'll be right back with more. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media at GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.
Where does today come before yesterday? Kumbuka majibu fupi pale kwa SMS line at 21144.
Art should be a mirror. It should mirror things that people are going through, both the ones that are spoken and the unspoken.
What's the difference between film and theater?
Film and theater.
If you had to write an entire story without either action or dialogue, which will you choose?
Wacheni could treat film and theater kama entertainment. Yeah. So film and theater is a very strong tool.
How do you think art is related to film and theater? For today's topic, we are going to be talking about tranquility in diversity, celebrating Africa through youth expressions.
We have to understand that our parents are from a different generation from ours.
For sure.
And so there are things that they might not understand. So what the girl should do, just like Amelis amesema, just make sure mi usema kichwa ngumu polite. I don't know if there is a word, kichwa ngumu polite.
When I started modeling, my mom was against it. Kabisa, like she never wanted to hear anything about modeling. She used to tell me, you're supposed to concentrate in school. So every time I used to go for a modeling event, my mom would call me and quarrel me. So most of the times I used to hide. I used to go to events secretly. So when Miss Tranquility happened, they posted the event. It was online. And I think she saw on television, Amelis Nyongesa crowned Miss Tranquility.
That is my daughter. That is my daughter.
Yeah. So my mom called me and told me, why didn't you tell me you're going for the event? I told her, how could I even open up and tell you I'm going for the event, because she was so against it.
Africans, we are great. We do a lot of things, but we are not credited.
As a model, like you can't crown a beauty queen without brains. Like they say, beauty with brains.
As a model, you shouldn't be losing your heritage just because of what you watch on YouTube or what you see on TikTok or on Instagram. Keep once a model, okay, mi usema once an artist, hii kitu ita sound fiti na Kiswahili. Manze once a msanii, always a msanii.
I think there's a lot we don't know out here about this industry, but that's why we're here anyway.
Yeah.
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back, and sorry for that technical glitch. Now, human resource leaders are being challenged to step up and deliver greater value to talent in the age of artificial intelligence. At the HR Summit 2025 here in Nairobi, experts warned that AI, shifting demographics and evolving workplace expectations are reshaping the world of work, demanding bold new strategies from organizations.
The opening of Human Resource Summit 2025, the call was clear. African organizations must rethink how they recruit, train and retrain talent in the face of fast-changing realities.
We recommend only good swimmers to get to the sea.
during the yellow.
Senior partner at Africa Legal Network Kenya, Karemi Anjarwal, said artificial intelligence is not only altering productivity, but also how people learn, hire and lead, warning that if not managed, technology risks sidelining human beings from the center of work.
Comes at a time when the need to understand the future of the workplace, how AI, technology will disrupt the workplace. These are the big questions of our time. I said in my speech that alongside things like climate change and nuclear proliferation, the impact of AI is probably the vital issue of our times. And so understanding whether we are future fit, whether the graduates we recruit have the skills that we need. If they don't, how do we as employers help them to be future fit? How do we embed an innovation culture into our organizations?
He emphasized Africa's dual challenge, fixing gaps in education while keeping pace with the exponential growth of artificial intelligence. The solution, he said, lies in blending talent and innovation to keep business competitive.
AI is challenging this fundamental question: is what is learning, and how do you learn, and what is valuable knowledge, right? And those are some of the questions that, as societies, we need to address.
Zamara Group CEO Sandeep Raichura echoed the statement, pointing the shifting demographics, globalization debates, and rising calls for equality and flexibility at work.
The reality is AI is very, very disruptive, right? It is having an impact on the types of jobs, right, that we recruit for, right? And as employers, we're really grappling with this because, we are seeing at Zamara that a lot of the things that we do, that we have graduate hires for each year, they are, they're being automated. I mean, we can actually achieve a lot of scale and efficiency by using technology. But the one thing that we say that technology cannot replace is, the innovation cannot replace human beings, right, at work, right? So,
he said flexible work has moved from being a perk to a basic expectation, while artificial intelligence is already redefining recruitment, learning, and employing engagement.
We are looking for a different level of skill now. Skills around creativity, innovation, emotional intelligence, and that's a different skill set. And what we need to ensure is that our universities, our curriculum are geared towards preparing our young people for that future, because it's very, very different to the type of skill set that has been historically recruited, right?
Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
Away from that, in Narok Town, a local peace group is combining charity with advocacy, donating food to over 100 vulnerable women while urging residents to embrace unity ahead of the upcoming by-election. With campaigns underway to fill the seat left vacant by the late MCA Lucas Kudet, the group says peace and cohesion are vital in this diverse community. By-election is set to take place in Narok Town following the death of MC Lucas Kudet. As campaign begins, concerns over political tension and tribal division have prompted call for peace and unity across Cosmopolitan Ward.
Tungependa kuendelea kusaidia watu, kufanyia watu kazi. Mmejua mimi nimeendelea kusomesha watoto na nasomesha zaidi ya watoto 300. Na letu ni amani. Hapa Narok Town tunahitaji amani. Tumeona kuna wenzetu ambao wanaendelea kusema mambo ya ukabila, na kama unatafuta kiti, tafuta kiti bila kuweka mambo ya ukabila. Na chama yoyote ambayo mtu ameingia, iwe DCP, iwe chama ingine yoyote, ni wacha mtu aingie na uhubiri mambo ya amani.
This week, a local peace group led by Joshua Kaputa donated food in Majengo and London estates. The group used the outreach to promote cohesion and integration, urging residents to embrace diversity during the campaign period.
Tumekuja kuwa wabaraka na pia tumekuja kuzidi kuhimiza watu ya kwamba hii muji ni yetu sisi wote na tunahitaji kuweka amani, kushirikiana, na uwezi ambia ubiri amani kama hujaleta kitu. So we brought with us some few things, mahindi, unga, kuja kuwa wabaraka kwa watu.
Chair Lady Grace Wangari said the donation was a show of love to those often forgotten in society. With the by-election scheduled for November 27th, the peace group is calling on leaders and voters alike to prioritize harmony. The Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission will oversee polls in 24 electoral areas nationwide, including 6 parliamentary seats and 17 county assembly positions. GBS News. In a more devastating story is that in Gaza City, a 3-year-old boy is the sole survivor of an Israeli strike that wiped out his entire family. This comes amid intense Israeli airstrike and use of explosive-laden robots, leaving widespread devastation across the besieged city. The strikes mark yet another escalation in the war, with mounting civilian casualties fueling international concerns of genocide.
There is grief and relief for this grandmother. She holds the sole survivors of an Israeli airstrike that rapid through this Gaza City apartment.
This column and all the rubble was lying on top of him. I don't know how, but God saved him. He is the only one. His mother, father, and 2 siblings were lost. We woke up to the boy screaming. He was screaming.
3-year-old Ibrahim is now one of more than 49,000 children in Gaza who have lost one or both parents, according to health authorities.
We found my daughter in pieces. Her husband and daughters were scattered around her. This boy was found alive under the rubble. My darling grandson. Your mother and father are gone and have left you.
Generations of Palestinians are being decimated. Entire families are being killed together in their tents and shelters as Israeli military bombardment of Gaza City intensifies.
My brother was killed, struck inside his room. They killed him with his wife and children. They erased them all. No one is left.
UNICEF says Israel is killing a classroom full, an average of 28 children in Gaza every single day. The genocide intensifies as attacks are heavily focused on Gaza City, where Israeli forces have launched a large-scale assault to seize control of it. One of the latest strikes hit an apartment in the Sheikh Ranwan neighborhood. Gaza's media office says Israel has detonated at least 100 explosive-laden robots in Gaza City over the past 3 weeks. The devices have been planted in busy strikes and allies, leading to the destruction of entire residential blocks and neighborhoods. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Paul M. Minor.
Indeed, a heartbreaking and painful scene there in Gaza. Now, in Mali's central Segou region, authorities have extended nighttime curfew by another 30 days following a sharp rise in violence. The curfew, now in effect from midnight to 5 a.m. until October 2nd, comes after Mayor of Dogofri was killed last weekend, an attack attributed to traditional Dozo hunters. Just weeks earlier, jihadists from Al-Qaeda-linked group Jamaat Nusrat al-Islam wal-Muslimin, or JNIM, overran a military base in Fargo. The group claims to have killed 21 soldiers and several civilians, and they continue to hold the area, forcing both the army and residents to flee. The unrest highlights the deepening security crisis across Mali and Sahel. In just the first 6 months of this year, Segou recorded over 320 violent incidents and more than 700 civilian victims. According to the UN, as insecurity spread, curfew have also been introduced in Mali's southern region of Kayes and Sikasso. It was an emotional day for Portugal national team as players and officials and family came together to honor one of their own, Diogo Jota. The talented Liverpool forward tragically lost his life in July, and his memory was celebrated in a moving tribute at team's training base in Lisbon. Here is more on the ceremony that touched a nation.
Portugal's national team held a moving ceremony in Lisbon to honor Diogo Jota, who tragically died in a car crash with his brother Andre Silva in July. His widow Ruth unveiled a framed bronze shirt bearing his name and number 21 at the team's training base. Joined by Jota's family, national leaders and teammates, Ruben Neves delivered a heartfelt tribute to his close friend.
Agora, em meu nome e em nome de toda a seleção nacional.
Now, in my name and of the whole national team, a word of comfort for the family and friends of Josh Costa and the Porto Football Club, especially for me, and because I feel part of this family, I would like to leave a word of much strength to Ruth, the boys, and to the parents of Diogo and Andre. As I've said, we, me, and the whole national team will do everything to keep Diogo present with us. Thank you, Jorge, Andre, and Diogo, forever in our hearts.
Para sempre nos nossos corações.
The two shared the pitch 164 times, most recently in Portugal's Nation League final win over Spain in June, Jota's final match. To honor his legacy, Neves will now wear Jota's number 21 shirt for Portugal. His memory lives on, not just in jerseys, but in the hearts of a nation and a team forever changed. Elvis Muyodi, GBS News.
Indeed, Asta he was. Now it's time for us to take a short break. Keep your feedback streaming into our social media platform at GBS TV Africa. Our SMS line is 21144. We'll be right back.
So today we're diving into a topic that has become rather popular right here in Kenya, the K-pop culture.
I would say K-pop invokes creativity, like mega creativity. I have friends who are creative and you see you've done that and they're like, yeah.
An ex told me that K-pop girls, K-pop stan girls, it was like the men you stan look like women, and you aim to get a man that looks like that. So if you fail to find a man like that, because obviously you're in Kenya, you're not gonna find a pretty man.
For me, it's like I have two personalities at this point. I have my normal life and I have my army life. Because when I get into my army life, it's just like a whole new world. A community full of people who don't judge, people who accept you.
Learning Korean from a Kenyan can sometimes mess you up because they pronounce words differently, and when you speak to a native, it's like, hold up, what did you say?
I've never met like a K-pop fan. I don't know why. What am I? No, not when people want to like express themselves like, I'm a K-pop fan. Unless you see them like wearing like a branded t-shirt or a branded hoodie, you realize that they're K-pop fan.
The main campaign of BTS is loving yourself, right? And K-pop has a lot of drawbacks. Just like anything else, too much of something is poisonous, yeah? And one of the drawbacks is it comes with beauty because they have these absurd beauty standards. While BTS passed this message that you're supposed to love yourself, embrace yourself, you're just perfect the way you are. You don't have to eat less to be beautiful. You're beautiful from the inside, right? Getting to BTS, it's hard to come out.
Okay.
Are you in marriage? Are you married? Is your marriage unhappy? What are the things that you're going through and you really, really want them being answered?
I'm a relationship coach and a marriage counselor, and I'm so passionate about helping people, individuals and couples.
When you're having these people, these different people and personality, and maybe they are a couple, whereby if you don't solve now, don't come to ask me later. And I'm in the school of thought of, we cannot talk about it now. I have to cool down and then you can discuss it later. How do you strike a balance and be able to communicate peacefully and resolve our issue by the end of the day?
That's where I drive or I pick the models of marriage from the Bible stories. So that marriage model is about business and security. And even today, people are marrying because of business.
So how am I even marrying for happiness? Are we supposed even to call it for happiness, or is it because of lust and pleasures of the world?
So I'm going to search for a person who has money. I want big vehicle. I want a big house. So what do you call that? It's you're marrying because of business. The Adams model and the Jacob's model is the best.
What is it exactly are we looking for in the last model?
Everywhere, GBS.
Welcome back and thank you for continuing keeping it locked here at GBS News at 9. Now, former Congolese President Joseph Kabila has reacted to military prosecutor who sought for his death penalty during his treason trial. Last week, Kabila denounced a political move designed to silence the opposition. He criticized his successor, Felix Tshisekedi, saying he had not taken responsibility for his government's failure. Kabila is also accused Tshisekedi of corruption related to mining province at Katanga. The former head of state has called for a dialogue between all parties of the national political scene. In a global news, the United Nations is sounding a clear alarm over the stalled progress of nuclear disarmament. Speaking at the General Assembly in New York, top officials marked the International Day Against Nuclear Test with a forceful call to end nuclear testing once and for all. Nearly 30 years after the Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty was adopted, it remains unenforced, prompting urgent appeal for ratification and global action. Let's have that story. The Comprehensive Nuclear Test Ban Treaty has sat in limbo, adopted but not enforced. Despite broad international support, key nations have yet to ratify it, leaving the world vulnerable to the return of nuclear testing. The treaty's promise remains just a promise.
That choice is ours, and it must be to end nuclear testing forever. Trust between states continues to erode, while investments in nuclear weapons and their delivery systems increase. Let me be clear, the only path to abolishing nuclear tests is through a legally binding prohibition, respected, implemented, and above all, enforced.
This week, the United Nations marked the International Day Against Nuclear Tests with a blunt message. Speaking to General Assembly, Disarmament Chief Izumi Nakamitsu warned that rising global tension and renewed investment in nuclear weapons demand urgent action. She called the ban on testing not just a technical issue, but a moral imperative. CTBTO's Robert Floyd backed the call, urging nuclear states to hold their moratoria and push the treaty forward.
Can we take two major policy steps? First, all nuclear armed states maintain and reaffirm their respective moratoria on testing. And second, those states that have yet to sign and or ratify the treaty think hard about the advantage of taking that all-important step towards universalizing this treaty.
The UN says the future of disarmaments depend on leadership. Without full ratification, the CTBT risks becoming a relic instead of a safeguard. Officials say the time for statement has passed. What matters now are the choice governments make next. Reporting for GBS TV, I'm Ibrahim Said. U.S. Senator Marco Rubio is warning that there will be more strikes against drug smuggling networks, saying the United States will not hesitate to target operations that threaten national security and regional stability. Here is more on the story.
Rubio made the remarks after Washington carried out a series of precision airstrikes on suspected smuggling routes. The operations led by U.S. military aimed to disrupt cartels accused of trafficking drugs across international borders. Officials said the strikes were launched following intelligence reports that linked smugglers to wider networks destabilizing the region.
Will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them. So they were designated as what they are narco-terrorist organizations. So the same information and the same intelligence mechanisms with maybe a higher focus was used to determine that a drug boat was headed towards eventually the United States. And instead of interdicting it on the president's orders, he blew it up. And it'll happen again. Maybe it's happening right now, I don't know. But the point is, the President of the United States is going to wage war on narco-terrorist organizations.
The senator had previously supported similar actions, arguing that drug trafficking posed a significant risk to both public health and national defense. Past strikes were described by U.S. authorities as measured but necessary, with assurances that civilian areas were carefully avoided.
If you're on a boat full of cocaine or fentanyl or whatever headed to the United States, you're an immediate threat to the United States. And the president, under his authority as commander-in-chief, has a right under exigent circumstances to eliminate imminent threats to the United States, and that's what he did yesterday in international waters, and that's what he intends to do.
Rubio has now pledged that U.S. will sustain its campaign against drug cartels, warning smugglers that further military action remains on the table if the threat continues. Reporting for GBS, I'm Molin Rono.
We have ever had, maybe with any country.
Still in the U.S., senior U.S. national security officials said on Wednesday that military operations against cartel would continue, setting the stage for a sustained military campaign in Latin America, even as basic questions about a deadly strike against a vessel from Venezuela remain unanswered. The U.S. military killed 11 people on Tuesday in a strike on a vessel from Venezuela, allegedly carrying illegal narcotics. In the first known operation since President Donald Trump's recent deployment of warship to the Southern Caribbean, as Davis Karani reports.
The war against the cartels in the U.S. is ongoing and little is known about the strike, including what legal justification was used or what drugs were on board. But the U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said operations will continue.
The president was very clear, and that is we destroyed a drug boat that left Venezuela, operated by a designated narco-terrorist organization, which is what these are, and he's been clear that the days of acting with impunity and having an engine shot down or a couple drugs grabbed off a boat, those days are over. Now we are going to wage combat against drug cartels that are flooding American streets and killing Americans.
The Maduro regime is not a government. It's not a legitimate government. We've never recognized them as such. They are a criminal enterprise that basically has taken control of national territory.
Hegseth declined to provide details on how operation was carried out, saying they were classified. It is unknown whether the vessel was destroyed using a drone, torpedo, or by some other means. Trump also said on Tuesday, without providing evidence, that the U.S. military had identified the crew of vessels as members of Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, which Washington designated a terrorist group in February.
We just over the last few minutes, literally shot out a boat, a drug-carrying boat, a lot of drugs in that boat. We have a lot of drugs pouring into our country, coming in for a long time, and we just, these came out of Venezuela and coming out very heavily from Venezuela. A lot of things are coming out of Venezuela, so we took it out.
Presidents of both major U.S. parties have in the past asserted the authority to use the military for limited strikes when there is a threat to the United States, as Trump did in June when he ordered an attack on Iran.
8 Navy ships with 1,200 missiles and a nuclear submarine are targeting Venezuela. This is an extravagant, unjustifiable, immoral, and absolutely criminal threat.
Davis Karani for GBS News.
And with that, we have come to the end of our news bulletin. It's always a pleasure having you on board. Let's do this again next time, same channel. My name is Ibrahim Said, and our sign language interpreter tonight has been Alan Kiama. We leave after feeding you with an African proverb saying that brothers love each other evenly when they are equally rich. Have a good night.
Everywhere, GBS.